All right, good afternoon, class. How's everybody doing today? Good. My name is Mr. Williams. I will be your instructor for tonight. Just a little bit about myself. I'm from down in California. Got my BA at Cal State Fullerton. I'm currently getting my teaching credential in English at Cal State Long Beach. If you want to know anything else about me, just go ahead and ask me after the period, but it's not that important anyway. The materials that you're going to need for today is a copy of your Sonnet 12, a pen or a pencil, a highlighter, and one sheet of paper. If you don't have a highlighter, a pen, or a pencil, is perfectly fine for our task for today. So what's going down today is we're just going to go ahead and do a little bit of sonnet practice to get you ready for your sonnet unit test that you have coming up later on. All right. So I'm just going to start off by reading the sonnet at first. Okay. I will show you how I will break down the first two quatrains, which I will explain to you what quatrains are in a minute, and then you'll go ahead and do that by yourselves, and then we'll reconvene after that to see what you have learned for the 15 minutes. Sound good? Okay. So I'll just give you little brief definitions on some of the words that you're going to hear me say through this presentation. You're going to hear me say connotative meaning. Connotative meaning or connotations are just the feelings or emotions evoked by a word to describe another word. It's usually positive or negative connotations with those. For example, you have brave day equals beautiful day, and hideous night can mean ugly night. Okay? Just wake up. You feeling all right? You good? You need to go to the nurse? No, I need you to just be more lively, okay? If you need to use the restroom, just get yourself, a little bit more fresh air. Go ahead and do that. But I need you to kind of focus on the lesson. Thank you. Imagery, figurative language that represents objects. Okay. Example: sable curls, all silvered or with white. Sorry for the typo. Didn't notice that, but you'll see that within this sonnet. A quatrain, you'll hear me say that, is a stanza of 4 lines. A couplet is the last 2 lines within, the last 2 lines that will end your sonnet, and a volta is a shift in thought within your sonnet. It's usually found in line 9, okay? Does this make sense? Do I have any questions about any of these definitions? We're good? All right, so now it's time to read. All right, so all you simply need to do is just follow along as I read. I'm not going to ask anybody to read, just follow along as I do it. Once I read, then I will go ahead and start breaking the sonnets down as I said I would do before. But as I'm reading this, I just want you to be mindful of this question at the bottom. What is the theme of this entire sonnet as I'm reading it? Does that sound good? So I'm going to go ahead and start reading it. Just follow along, and then we'll go from there. Here we go. When I do count the clock that tells the time, and see the brave day sunk in hideous night, when I behold the violet past prime, and sable curls all silvered o'er with white, when lofty trees I see barren of leaves, which erst from heat did canopy the herd, and summer's green all girded up in sheaves, borne on the bier with white and bristly beard, then of thy beauty do I question make, that thou among the waste of time must go, since sweets and beauties do themselves forsake, and die as fast as they see others grow. And nothing gainst time's sight can make defense, save breeze to brave him when he takes thee hence. So, when I start looking at the sonnet and I start wanting to break it down, okay, I want to start breaking it down by getting the connotations between some words and also seeing what kind of type of imagery these words are displaying. So when I look at the first quatrain, which will be the first, so quatrains are just 4 lines. Okay, so when I'm looking at the first quatrain, was this top one up here? I'm looking at the first line. It's not really too much that I need to change in order to gain better understanding. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Was Shakespeare married?
Was Shakespeare married? He was married. Do I know to who? No, I don't. But I know he was married. No, yes, I do know his wife. Oh, that's not really important for now, anyway. Let's talk about that later. It's not that really doesn't apply to our lesson. But I can't answer that question. But you did stump me, so good job for that. But we're looking at the first line. Okay, I see there's not too much that I really need to change. Okay, in order to gain a better understanding. Okay. Can we look up here? Can we look up here? Any side conversations? Can we all pay attention up here, please? I'll let you. We're gonna talk in groups, so you'll be able to talk in a minute. So we're looking at the first line. I can see there's not too much that I really need to change. Okay? When I do count the clock that tells the time, I can definitely see that the speaker is just trying to tell me that he's looking at the clock and he's noticing time tick away. And be mindful, as I'm doing this, feel free to write what I'm writing down. I'm just going to be paraphrasing, so go ahead and write my paraphrases. So like I said, when I do count the clock that tells the time, I can just simply change that into when I look at the clock and I notice time ticking away, because that's what he's doing. And while happening, this is the most significant line to look at, okay, because all the things that are happening within this sonnet seemingly are happening as this first line is going on when he's looking at this clock and he's noticing time tick away. Going on to the next line, now I see a little bit more words that I can change in order to get a better understanding. I see brave and I see hideous. He says, and see the brave day sunk in hideous night. I know brave, for the most part, has a positive connotation. I know it's something that's courageous, it's something that's strong, it's something that's heroic, it's something that's willing to endure some type of pain in order to help somebody out, but a day can't really do that, right? So what does he really mean by a brave day? Well, when I'm reading on, I see he says hideous night. I know hideous has a negative connotation a lot of the time, so when I'm thinking hideous, I'm thinking ugly, I'm thinking dark, I'm thinking cold, I'm thinking scary. So I can easily just change hideous into ugly for the sake of this sonnet. So if a brave day sunk, and sunk means fall, right? When you're thinking of sunk, you're thinking of something that's going down, sinking, falling. So I can easily change sunk into fall. So when I see the brave day fall into an ugly night. So if it fell into an ugly night, that must mean that brave day was beautiful. It was sunny. It was bright. So when I see the beautiful day fall into the ugly night, and going back to the first line, he's noticing this happen as time is ticking and as time is passing away. Next line, when I behold the violet past prime. Well, I know behold means look, to see, to observe. The violet past prime. Most of the time when Shakespeare is using a violet or any type of flower within his sonnets, is usually meant to mean something positive. So I know a violet is a beautiful purple flower, right? And when I know when I see prime, that means something is at their best, it's at their highest, it's at their highest capability. But it can't possibly be that if it's past their prime. Okay, if something's past their prime, that means it's no longer at their best, it's fading away. And if it's saying that about the flower, that means the flower must be dying, the flower must be wilting. Okay, so this is another line where something's positive going into a negative. Okay, so when he sees the violet dying, when he sees a beautiful day fall into an ugly night, all this is happening as time is ticking away. Going on. And sable curls all silvered or with white. Now the word sable, why does he use that? Well, sable is meant to mean luxurious black. Okay? Why doesn't he just say black then? Well, a lot of times when Shakespeare uses black in his sonnets or stories, it's not really meant to mean something positive. So, any questions? Questions? I've seen some confused faces here. No? We're good? Okay. Sorry, sable is meant to mean luxurious black, so he uses sable in order to indicate positivity, meaning luxurious black hair. Okay, luxurious black hair. But silvered or with white. Silvered, I'm hearing gray. Okay, it must be turning gray, because as we've seen for the previous two lines, you have something going from positive to negative as the time is ticking away. So this line is telling us the same thing. We're seeing luxurious black hair, silvered or with white. It's turning gray with age, okay? Luxurious black hair turning gray with age as the time is ticking away. Going on to the next quatrain, quatrain 2. When lofty trees I see barren of leaves, lofty, tall, overbearing, large, huge, okay? Large canopy trees, something like palm trees. And he sees them barren of leaves, okay? Barren, naked, dry, okay? Empty of, okay? Now he sees these big, tall trees that are now naked of leaves, all as time is ticking away. Next line, which erst from heat did canopy the herd. Erst is just an archaic word that means long ago. Okay, erst means long ago, and which long ago from heat did canopy the herd. And when I hear canopy, I know what a canopy is. It means to cover something. It means to shade something. Okay, so these tall, overbearing trees used to cover the herd from the heat. Okay, so if I were to paraphrase these two lines, when lofty trees I see barren of leaves, I can say when tall trees I see naked of leaves, which long ago covered the herd from the heat, as the time is ticking away. Okay, and summer's green all girded up in sheaves. Okay, summer's green can mean summer's crops, okay? Summer's grass, okay? Girded up in sheaves. What's girded, okay? Girded is another word for wrapped up, bundled up, okay? Sorry.
Girdle?
It's wrapped up in bundles.
Like a girdle?
Yes. And no, like a girdle, no, not like a girdle, more like wrapped up in, but more like something's getting packaged up. Okay, packaged up and hauled off, as the next line would say, born on the beard with white and bristly beard. Okay, born is just another word for raised, hauled, and beard is a word that is something that's holding a casket and carrying it off away. Okay, beard is like a wagon that's carrying a casket, and what this line is telling us is summer is being carried off and carried away as it's an old man, okay, fading off. Okay, so all this is happening as the time is ticking away. So now what I want us to do very briefly, all right, I want you all to go ahead and break down the last quatrain and also the couplet, which is the last two lines. Okay, and as you're doing this, I want you to look at these directions, be mindful of them. Okay, so I want you to try to figure out the overall theme of this sonnet from this quatrain and the couplets. Okay, and then use this sentence stem right here. Okay, to guide your answer. So go ahead and just put that on a sheet of paper. All right, take about 1 minute or so to just do that. Look it over. Use these highlighted words to help guide you through your answers. All right, so go ahead and find the connotated meaning of those, as well as the imagery behind those, and then let that go ahead and guide your answer for your sentence.
Can I write on the back of my phone?
You can. If you don't have a piece of paper, you can definitely write on the back. Any questions for me?
Is this on our own or in groups?
You just on your own.
No.
Yes. That's what you're reading right now. And then we'll discuss. What are you confused about? So, did you understand my instruction with the quatrain 1 and quatrain 2? None. Okay. What didn't you understand?
The poem's confusing. I don't get the language.
I was breaking down the language for you. I was breaking it down for you. I was highlighting the words. I was giving the directions, but I noticed that you weren't writing down my directions as I was telling you, as I told you to. Let's take about 30 more seconds to get our answers. And remember these terms in the beginning of the slide, okay? Connotating meaning, okay, imagery, all right? You can definitely use those to help you answer the sentence stem, okay? In Sonnet 12, Shakespeare uses what to convey the idea that what. You can go ahead and give me an example. Does anybody need more time? Alright, so let's bring it together. So, can you tell me what the theme is using this sentence stem? Let's go ahead and have Jessica.
Okay. In Sonnet 12, Shakespeare uses imagery to convey the idea that beauty doesn't lack.
Yes, that's good. I like that. I like that answer. How about you?
In Sonnet 12, Shakespeare uses imagery to convey the idea that we're all going to die. For example,
That we're all gonna die. That's a good idea, but no. It's a little bleak. Yes, but why are we gonna die? What factor is playing into that?
so I saw like everything's like dying. Your time to die.
Well, I like Jessica's answer. Okay, Jessica's answer was more clear and concise. Okay.
And you thought I wasn't listening.
It was good though, but you clearly showed me that you were. So just to give you an answer, in Shakespeare, in Sonnet 12, Shakespeare uses imagery. In Sonnet 12, Shakespeare uses connotated meaning to convey the idea that the passing of time can be destructive. Okay, so that's the overall theme of it. I hope we were able to get that. Seems like we were somewhat able to get it, and yeah, hope you all.